Have you ever had a thought you were convinced was so original, so uniquely you, that no other human on Earth could have possibly conceived of it? A profound hot take on the latest Marvel movie, or a coffee brewing method you believe will revolutionize mornings for everyone. You sit there, feeling a little smug, like a lone genius in a world of copycats. Well, I've got good news and bad news. The good news is that feeling is awesome, right? The bad news is, right now, about 1 million other people are having that exact same unique thought. Welcome to the special Snowflake Paradox, where we're all completely unique, just like everyone else. It's one of my favorite cosmic jokes. We live in an age that worships individuality. Be yourself. Dare to be different. Think different. Corporations spend billions telling us the best way to express our uniqueness is by buying their mass-produced product. The iPhone that 500 million other people have. The limited edition sneakers that 30,000 other people are in a virtual line for. Or the rare craft beer from that brewery in Brooklyn, along with the 700 other craft breweries within a 5-mile radius. We are in an individuality arms race, and our weapons are our curated playlists, our niche hobbies, and our carefully worded Tinder bios. Let's start with the most obvious battlefield: taste. You know that friend who always says, "Oh, I don't really listen to mainstream music. I'm more into obscure stuff." And then they put on Tame Impala or Phoebe Bridgers. Now, don't get me wrong, they're fantastic artists, but thinking you're underground for listening to them in 2024 is like thinking you've discovered a hidden gem called Starbucks. The annual Spotify Wrapped is the perfect indictment. Millions of people post, stunned at how weird and eclectic their taste is, only to reveal their bizarre mix is hip-hop, indie pop, and a little Taylor Swift, which is basically the musical DNA of every millennial and Gen Zer. We aren't special because we listen to those artists. We're special because we think we're special for listening to them. This phenomenon isn't just about music. It bleeds into everything. "I'm not like other girls," she says, while drinking a pumpkin spice latte, wearing leggings, and posting about her authentic life on Instagram, a platform used by 1 billion other people trying to perform their authenticity. "I'm not a typical guy," he declares, before spending his weekend gaming, watching sports, and trying to get a crypto podcast off the ground. The hilarious truth is, the phrase, "I'm not like everyone else," is probably one of the most common, unoriginal things a person can say. It's the secret password to the club for people who think they don't belong to any clubs. So why do we do this? Why is our brain stuck in this self-congratulatory feedback loop? Well, psychologists have some pretty good ideas. First, there's the Dunning-Kruger effect. In simple terms, it means people who are incompetent at something are often unable to recognize their own incompetence. Think about driving. Statistically, something like 80% of drivers rate themselves as above average. Unless we're all living in some weird mathematical version of Lake Wobegon, that's impossible. We see other people make dumb mistakes on the road and think, well, at least I'm not that guy. We don't see the hundreds of other cars driving perfectly fine around us because competence is invisible. We only notice the deviations, and by comparing ourselves to the worst examples, we conclude we're exceptional. This applies to our jobs, too. "Nobody in this office works as hard as I do," you mutter, while answering emails at 10 p.m. You don't see your coworker who started at 6 a.m., or the one silently struggling with a much harder project. We are the star of our own movie, so of course we assume we get the most screen time and the most dramatic scenes. And there's its close cousin, confirmation bias. Our brains are lazy. They don't want to do the hard work of analyzing every new piece of information. Instead, they hunt for evidence that confirms what they already believe. If you believe you have a unique sense of humor, you'll only remember the times you told a joke and everyone laughed, and conveniently forget the times your punchline landed with the silence of a funeral. If you think you're a critical thinker, you'll only read articles and watch videos that reinforce your worldview, dismissing everything else as fake news or propaganda. We build an information bubble around ourselves, not to protect us from the world, but to protect us from the alarming possibility that we might be kind of normal. And of course, there's consumerism. Brands don't sell products. They sell identities. They sell us the idea that we can purchase our uniqueness. You're not just buying a pair of sneakers, you're buying the story of an athlete who overcame the odds. You're not just buying a phone, you're joining an ecosystem of creators. You're not just buying a coffee, you're supporting fair trade and sustainable farming. Every purchase is a little statement to the world. I am a conscious person. I have good taste. I am not a sheep. But when millions of us are buying the same anti-mainstream narrative, who is the mainstream? It's a rebellion sponsored by American Express. Nowhere is this more obvious than on social media, where we meticulously curate our digital selves. We post our effortlessly casual photos that took 47 takes. We share profound thoughts we read in someone else's tweet. We project a life that is both aspirational and relatable. A delicate balance between I'm cooler than you and I'm just like you. Each profile is a tiny museum dedicated to one person's specialness. But when you scroll through hundreds of these museums, you start to notice they all have the same exhibits. The mountaintop hiking photo, the close-up of the fancy brunch, the boomerang of clinking glasses, and of course, the gym mirror selfie with a caption about the grind. We're all reading from the same script on how to be original. So, are we all just self-deluded hypocrites? Not exactly. The need to feel special is a fundamental human drive. It's what pushes us to learn, to create, to strive to be better. If we truly believed we were just an anonymous grain of sand on an infinite beach, what would be the motivation to do anything? The trap isn't in wanting to be special, it's in defining special all wrong. Real uniqueness doesn't come from which band you listen to, what coffee you drink, or what job you have. Millions of people share your taste and your profession. Real uniqueness is in the combination. It's in how you mix all those common ingredients together. Maybe you're an accountant by day and a drummer in a death metal band by night. Maybe you love quantum physics and also the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Maybe you can quote Shakespeare and also every single line from the movie Superbad. It's the intersection of your thousands of generic traits that creates the one-of-a-kind person that is you. Your uniqueness isn't a single ingredient, it's the entire recipe. And maybe the most beautiful and ironic thing of all is this: the most universal, shared human experience that connects all of us as a species is the quiet, private belief that we are different from everyone else. We are united by our shared delusion of solitude. Billions of people, each sitting in their own little room, thinking that nobody really gets them, and that very thought connects them in a way they can never truly appreciate. So next time you have that unique thought, enjoy it. Savor that spark of perceived genius. But then have a little laugh with yourself, and remember that somewhere out there, a perfect stranger is probably smiling for the exact same reason. And maybe that doesn't make you any less special. Maybe it just makes being human a little more interesting. But it leaves me wondering, if trying to be different is the most normal thing a person can do, what would it even look like to be truly average? And would anyone ever be brave enough to admit to it? Modern life is full of human logic errors, and we just deciphered them with a bit of satirical humor using stick figures. Now it's your turn. Leave a comment and tell us, what is the slightly funny, normal thing people do that makes absolutely no sense? Thanks for watching on Logic Loop, where humorous life logic meets animated commentary. If this got you thinking, leave a comment, like, share, and don't forget to subscribe for more fun videos about modern life using easy-to-understand stick figures. See you in the next video.